right. Brookings Cubs fans, I normally start this off by saying Cossack crazies, but we are in the wrong town for that. Welcome in to Bob Sheldon Field. We got a home game tonight against the Brandon Belugas. Revamped the former Valley Rats, I believe they were, out of Valley Springs. Now they're out of Brandon. They call themselves the Belugas. They are in the white and the teal out there. They're doing their warm-ups on the side of the field to our left. I can scan over, and you can see those guys over there. This is the Brookings Cubs. This is game number 3. This is their second home game, and it just so happened where schedules worked out where I can be out here as well and just kind of do something different, you know, through the summertime. If this works out and we find some audience out here, then we'll see what happens with this all summer long. But it's going to be a fun season for the Brookings Cubs as they are absolutely loaded with young talent today. This season, I guess I should say, pitchers, hitters, former USF guys, former Southwest Minnesota State guys. They've got an SDSU assistant basketball coach on their squad. Should be a lot of fun watching the Brookings Cubs all summer long. You can get here as well. If you can't watch these things on YouTube like this, you can certainly get to the ballpark. We'll go through a lot of the schedules as we go through tonight. They are 2-0 so far on their season with wins over. Let me open that up here as I should have had that open already. A big win on the road on May the 12th. That was a Monday night down in Del Rapids. They beat PBR 9-5. And just about a week ago, a win right here at Bob Sheldon Field against the Volga Cormorants. That was 14-4. And they'll start up game 3 here in about 5 minutes or so. We're going to do some starting lineups on the field. Both sides of that, we'll have a little Star Spangled Banner out here tonight. And just see how this goes. Call a little baseball, a little amateur style, and just have some fun with this tonight. Before we roll on too much farther, I want to thank my exclusive presenter for everything that we do on Saul's Media. We've had a great time doing Sioux Valley things, doing Elton Lake Benton things in the high school ranks. This is our first amateur baseball game. We'll see how this goes. But exclusive presenter for everything that we do on Saul's Media, Bankstar Financial, with locations in Volga, Brookings, and Elkton. Bankstar provides big-time business with a small-town feel. Looking to finance a home? Need a car loan? How's your retirement plan looking? Stop in today to chat with the local professionals. Bank on the bright side. Bankstar Financial, a proud sponsor of Saul's Media broadcasts. And tonight, the Brookings Cubs, as we're exchanging some lineups on home plate there, talking to the umpires, getting our lay of the land and what's going to be happening tonight. When our PA announcer to my right, Mr. Aaron Jornby, AJ as we lovingly call him, gets on his microphone, we'll hand it over to him, and we'll be rocking and rolling after the Star Spangled Banner, but this should be a lot of fun. I can tell you up here in the booth, I do have a sketchy website that is giving me the Timberwolves game for free. Hopefully there's not a lot of things happening to my laptop at that same moment, but we'll deal with that later. We'll also be talking about, what the Twins have been doing through this broadcast. We really have to start getting into the WNBA. I know a lot of you maybe aren't women's basketball fans, but I am. It started with the Jackrabbits for me. Women's basketball has been absolutely fantastic. WNBA now taking the next step, not being just that league that's subsidized by the NBA, trying to be their own brand, be their own league, make their own money. The rosters are getting bigger, faster, stronger. The stadiums are getting bigger, and they're selling out. Part of the Caitlin Clark effect, obviously, but we'll talk about all that as we go through the night. I'm going to hand this over to Aaron Jornby, the general manager of the Brookings Cubs, and our PA announcer for the evening. I'll be right back with you after starting lineups and the Star Spangled Banner. Brookings Cubs baseball coming up next.
Batting third at third base, number 3, Nick Hokenstad. Batting fourth, number 15, right fielder Daniel Butine. Batting fifth, number 26, first baseman Nate Myers. Batting sixth, the catcher number 1, Dawson Mork. Batting seventh in center field, number 22, Austin Ryder. Batting eighth, number 11, the left fielder Braden Byron. Batting ninth, designated hitter number 24, Peyton Brown. And pitching number 5, Jack Neschke. And now the starting lineup for your Cubs. First, the available non-starters, number 34, Matt Gerard. Number 20, Zach Struck. Number 99, Nolan Miles. And number 35, Alec Johnson. Starting lineup for the Cubs, hitting lead off, plays second base, number 25, Isaac Bonner. Batting second, number 44, center fielder, Rhett Zielinski. Batting third, the shortstop, number 29, Chase McDaniel. Batting fourth, designated hitter, number 22, Lincoln Vascar. Batting fifth, number 14, the third baseman, Parker Winghart. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 7, Miles Reese. Batting seventh at first base, number 8, Justin Koppel. Batting eighth, in left field, number 4, Tucker Wookie. Batting ninth, doing the catching, number 28, Logan Anderson. And pitching for the Cubs, number 3, Jake Ammon. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise if able and pay respects to the flag located in left field. Active duty or retired military who are not in uniform may salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
You heard the chant right at the end there. Go Cubs, as our Brookings Cubs are on the field. They will be the home team, obviously, tonight, so they'll be in the field. The Brandon Belugas coming up first to bat. Starting lineups brought to us by CC's Bar and Grill, as they have been through basketball, through volleyball, through everything else we've been doing with the Sioux Valley Athletics. Tyler Sandbolt, he is the shortstop. He'll be batting first. Batting second for Brandon, Logan Kelling. He is the second baseman, number 2. Batting third, number 3, Nick Hockenstad. He's the third baseman. Batting cleanup, number 15, Daniel Butine. He's the right fielder. Batting fifth, number 26, Nate Myers. He is the first baseman tonight. Batting sixth, number 1, Dawson Mork. He's our catcher. Number 22, batting seventh, Austin Rader. He is the center fielder. Batting eighth, number 11, Braden Byram. He is the left fielder. And number 24, batting ninth, Peyton Brown, the DH for the Brandon Belugas. Pitching tonight for the Brandon Belugas, Jack Neschke. For our Brookings Cubs, we'll get into that in the bottom of the first as we roll through that lineup. But you can see some of the sponsors that we have put together, that I put together. Up in the corner of the screen there, you can see our guys getting ready and getting their final warm-up pitches in. Pitching for the Cubs tonight, Jake Ammann. Ammann. That is number 3 out there. He's a USF baseball player, or former USF baseball player. I don't think there's any formers out there. These are all young kids, which is why The Cubs are as excited as they are. It's been a couple years since they've been in a state championship title match. I believe they got there in 2022, 2020, I believe was the other one. They haven't won Class A state since 2002. And they do have high hopes to try to get themselves into that sort of situation. And we'll see how the season goes. It's a 2-0 start for the Cubs so far. Game number 3 and the first pitch. Just like that, a little high. So Amon's going to start 1-0 against Tyler Sandbolt. 2-0 now. Doing my best here to keep a scoreboard together. There's a strike right there. 2-1 now. Jake Ammon, USF Cougar, out on the mound tonight. Outside in that try. 3-1 now to the leadoff hitter, Tyler Sandbolt. For Brandon, he is their shortstop. Good pitch there. There's a line drive right past first baseman into right field. And that'll be a base hit to start the game for the Belugas. Good at bat for Sandbolt. Number 2, Logan Kelling. He is the second baseman tonight for Brandon. 2-hitter in the lineup. Ammon now will have to pitch with a man on and nobody out. A little bit high in the first offering. There's a good strike there in the outside corner. 1-1 now to Kelling. Ammon joined by several USF players on this Cubs roster this season. That gets past the catcher. That's going to allow Sandbolt to get to second. He's looking at third and will stop at second base instead. Pitch was low, so ball 2. But now the Belugas runner in scoring position here in the second at bat of the game. Logan Kelling with a 2-1 count now for the Belugas. Too high in that offering. 3-1 now. Jake will deliver. High and outside. So 2 men on now for the Belugas as Kelling walks. That'll bring up the third hitter in the lineup, Nick Hockenstead, the third baseman for Brandon. Still nobody out here, top of the first. Here's fouled straight back into the net. Ammon gets up on Hockenstead early. Good pitch there, 0-2 against the 3-hitter in the lineup for Brandon. The 0-2 pitch. Just outside, gets away from the catcher. That's going to be a pass ball. Both runners are going to advance. So with a 1-2 count, runners on second and third now with nobody out. Ammon dealing with some struggles here in the first inning. Just trying to get that crucial first out. But 2 men in scoring position now for Brandon. The third hitter in lineup, Hockenstead. Swings and misses. Ball gets away from the catcher. There'll be a tap out, so a strikeout. First out of the game. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter for Brandon. Cleanup hitter is Daniel Butine, the right fielder. The first pitch is low. Still 2 men on for Brandon. Second and third for the cleanup hitter. That'll be a strike in the outside corner. 1-1 now. Jake in a jam here in the first inning. Trying to pitch himself out of it. Just outside there. 2-1 now. That is going to be low. 3-1 now to the cleanup hitter for Brandon. Daniel Butine, the right fielder. Hitter's pitch here, 3-1 in the count. There is a shot to the right side. Second baseman's going to pick that up, throw it to first. We'll get a force out there, but a run's going to come across as Brandon gets on the board first. Trying to get my scoreboard to act the way I want it to, and I might not be able to get to it, so let's do it this way. That way, we'll reset. Two outs now on that put out, and the pass ball is going to allow both those runners to come across. So Sandbolt scores on the force out. Logan Kelling got all the way to third on the ground out, and now he will score on the pass ball. So Brandon takes a 2-0 lead here. And this is Nate Myers, the first baseman. It'll even it up at 1-1. Good pitch there. 1-2 now for Ammon. Still working on the pronunciation. Someone can give me a comment out there, I would imagine. Nate Myers at the plate. 1-2. Fouled off to the right. There's a lot of kids over there on the Little League field, so it might be in the outfield out there for one of them out there. There is some evergreen trees to try to stop those things from jumping in the Little League fields, but we'll see what happens to that. Good pitch there. Strikeout to end the threats, but Brandon gets 2 across. So as we head to the bottom of the first inning, it is 2-0 Brandon. Clear everything out on the scoreboard, and this powerful lineup of the Brookings Cubs will be coming to bat. So the starting lineups, continuation, I guess, if you want to say that, it is brought to us by CC's Bar and Grill, a fantastic spot in downtown Volga. Burgers, brats, chislic, chicken sandwiches, and they do have the bucket of balls as well. Cheese balls, all you can handle. They do have the event space as well. So if you have an event that you need to have hosted, they do have the banquet room in the back. Weddings and graduations, whatever ceremonies and retirement parties, whatever you need to do, CC's Bar and Grill can take care of you there. Downtown Volga, a fantastic sponsor of everything that we do here on Saul's Media and Sioux Valley Athletics, but tonight a special sponsor for the Brookings Cubs as we see how this goes tonight. Starting lineups. Batting first for the Cubs, number 25, Isaac Bonner. He is the second baseman. Batting second, number 44, Rhett Zielinski. He's their center fielder and head coach. Batting third, number 29, Chase McDaniel. He's our shortstop. Batting cleanup, number 22, Lincoln Vasgard, the DH. Batting fifth, number 14, Parker Wingert. He is our third baseman tonight. Batting sixth, number 7, Miles Reese. He's our right fielder. Batting seventh, number 8, Justin Koffel. He is our first baseman tonight. Batting 8th, Tucker Wookie. He is our left fielder. He's number 4. And batting 9th, number 29, Logan Anderson. He is our catcher tonight. And pitching for the Brandon Belugas, number 5, Jack Neshy. Sorry, they've got 19 out there, and I don't have 19 on my score sheet, so maybe 19 is Jack. We'll go with that. Can hear some tunes. AJ throwing that out for us. Isaac Bonner, another one of the USF kids on this roster. He will open it up, the left-hander for the Brookings Cubs. As we move into the bottom of the first, it's a 2-0 lead for Brandon, and that first pitch by Neshy is going to be ball 1. As I said before, I do have a sketchy website for the T-Wolves action that is just getting going in Oklahoma City, probably 10 minutes ago for you, but on the sketchy website, it's just starting. Try to keep you up to date on that as best I can. I don't have regular cable at home, so ESPN doesn't work for me. To do ESPN Plus and everything they're doing on there, you need a cable provider, and I don't have that, so I'm streaming everything. Sometimes you have to stream some sketchy sites. There's a shot up to center field. Kind of a gapper. He's going to round first, digging in for second, and that will be a double to open up the night for Isaac Bonner and the Brookings Cubs. Great at bat there for Isaac Bonner. So with nobody out, the second hitter of the lineup, Rhett Zielinski, the head coach and center fielder, number 44. So the Cubs come to their second at-bat of the evening with a runner in scoring position, much like Brandon did in the top of the first. We'll see what Rhett can do here. Good eye on first pitch. Outside. 1-0 to Zielinski. Playing center field tonight. Plenty of sunshine out here tonight. Comparatively, for the last, 5 days, it's been cloudy and rainy, and finally got a nice evening here in May. It is outside, ball 2. Cubs officially moved a game they were supposed to play from last night to next week. The Elkton Snappers were supposed to be in town, but with it being rainy and cold and just not baseball friendly, Cubs were able to move that game to next week. So the Snappers will be in town next Wednesday here at Bob Sheldon Field. 3-0 now to Zielinski, the head coach. Trying to play catch-up here. 3-0 count with nobody out. And that'll be outside. Zielinski's going to draw a walk. So the Cubs, with nobody out, get 2 men on. Try to take advantage of that as well. Batting third, Chase McDaniel, number 29. He's our shortstop. Comes to us from Southwest Minnesota State out of Marshall. Daniel, a lefty as well. 2 men on, though. Offers on the first one. That's going to be off his toe, so that'll be a foul ball as it hit his foot in the batter's box. Working out a knee, maybe it hit his knee as well, but it did roll all the way up to the first baseman. Some pain there, but he seems to be shaking it off pretty well. Rubbing some things there, getting himself put back together, and Chase McDaniel will step back into the batter's box with an 0-1 pitch and a little bit of pain. Part of amateur baseball. Aches and pains. Maybe not with this squad. It's a younger squad than most years. A lot of times you get some veterans out there. There's a snag line drive. That'll be a double play as Zielinski was leaning the other way. So a line out is going to end up in a double play there. So with 2 outs now, just one man on now. So I'm trying to get, there we go. This will be our cleanup hitter, Lincoln Vasgard, also out of Marshall, Southwest Minnesota State. So with Bonner on second and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, Vasgard is going to try to bring him around. 1-1 now. Vasgard, our cleanup hitter tonight. He is also our DH tonight. Low on that, 2-1. Jack Neshy, the pitcher for Brandon, delivers outside on that. Ball gets away from the catcher. And Bonner will jet on down to third base. So with a 3-1 count and now a man on third, Vasgard can bring in a run here. Sac fly doesn't do it. Base hit's got to do it. Cleanup hitter trying to get the Cubs on the board here in the first. And that'll be outside. Vasgard walks. That'll bring up man on first and third with Parker Wingert coming up out of Martin Luther College in New Ulm. Number 14, Parker Wingert. He is our third baseman tonight. Another lefty in the lineup. First and third with 2 outs. Cubs trying to get on the board. Too high on the first offering. There's a shot right up the middle that is going to be fielded by the second baseman. Throw to second, and that'll be the force out. So Brandon allows a couple of runners to get on, but no one comes across, as Parker Wingert is retired on a fielder's choice, with Vasgard being forced out at second base. So we move to the second inning. Reset everything here. 2-0 lead for Brandon. Second inning is going to be brought to us by our fantastic sponsors that are rolling across your screen up at the top corner. Jimmy John's, right on 6th Street here in Brookings, a fantastic sponsor. I'm good friends with the manager, Erin Clark, and she has been a huge helper for everything we've done with Sioux Valley. And now she's going to help us with the Brookings Cubs if this works out right. Cubs schedule usually in the evenings, and that works out well for me. My regular job is at Bell Brands. It is kind of a weirdo schedule, as all I had to work this week was Wednesday and Thursday. So evenings are the best. See how the weekends go throughout the summer. But, you know, as far as the Cubs roster goes, evenings work for them as well. As amateur baseball, man, these guys are working. Job all day, get out to the ballpark. Another summer in the sun. The boys of summer. Nice night out here. Actually, a pretty good crowd. Some, you know, youngsters in shorts and some T-shirts. Others of the older fan variety in some coats. I do see one stocking out there. It's been a tough few days. I was with the Sioux Valley softball team down in Coleman yesterday afternoon. Certainly chilly out there as well. Jake Ammon's going to start with a strike to begin the top of the second. 1-1 now. As I'm trying to get my scoreboard to keep up. Batting for Brandon, this is the catcher, number 1, Dawson Mork. He is the 6th hitter in their lineup. That'll be a strike, 1-2 now. So a pretty evening, as you can see the sky, beyond center field out there. It is very nice out here tonight. That's going to be fouled off to the right side and out of play. Going to stay 1-2 for Dawson Mork, the catcher of the Brandon Belugas. That'll be a ground ball fielded by our third baseman. Throw across and out. So a nice play by Parker Wingert at third. The 5-3 put out. We'll bring up Austin Ryder, the center fielder for Brandon. One out. If it'll help me out. There we go. So good play by Parker Wingert. Tough pickup. First pitch is fouled straight back. Ammon gets up 0-1 on Austin Ryder, center fielder for Brandon. One and one now. One of the things you get with the sketchy websites watching the T-balls, that is high and inside. Ryder's got to get out of the way. 2-1 now. They don't go to commercials on the sketchy websites here, the free ones that I'm stealing, basically. So they're honoring Kendrick Perkins of OKC Thunder fame. That ball will be outside. 3-1 now. So you get a lot of crowd shots, a lot of noise, a lot of hype by, the stadium PA guys. Full count now to Austin Reeder. That'll be low and outside, gets away from the catcher. Reeder will stroll on down to first and stay there. But a walk to Reeder. We'll get one man on for the left fielder, Braden Byram. Braden Byram. Say that 3 times fast. And we'll start low. Ball 1 to Byram. It's a hit and run try, but has fouled off to the right side past the people standing down there in the right field line. Bring up a 1-1 count here. That was a hit and run right there as Ryder was moving on the pitch. Brandon trying to get something done here. Throw over. Safe on that attempt. Ryder gets back. So you guys are probably ahead of me. I've got the T-Wolves with a 13-12 lead. Yeah, I'm not behind you by too much. Damon delivers just outside. 2-1. Those T-Wolves struggled in game 1 of trying to make three-pointers. It's a three-point shooting team, but I think they were, 10 of 59 or some crap like that. The bench was terrible. Naz Reid had a tough night. That is a strong shot, left center field. Outfielders chasing. That'll hit the base of the wall. Right in left center. Throw in is going to be thrown into the shortstop. Play at the plate, and that'll be out at the plate. A great relay. Rhett Zielinski runs it down, throws it to McDaniel at short, and it is Anderson with the tag. Great play there. So Reeder out at the plate. That is an 8-6-2 put out on the Byram double to left center. That'll bring up designated hitter, the ninth man in the lineup, Peyton Brown, for the Belugas. So Brandon not able to capitalize on that laser shot to left center. Zielinski ran it down off the base of the wall bounce out there. 1-1 now. Great throw into the shortstop. McDaniel, a quick throw to Anderson at the plate and nails Reeder trying to score. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now to Brown. Foul back. Tapper, left side. Wingert picks it up, and the strong throw to first base, and that'll get us out of the second inning. So a couple of good defensive plays there. That'll be a 5-3 putout to end the top of the second. Reset some things here. Zielinski with a great play out in center field. McDaniel with a great relay back to home. And Anderson with the tag. Stops a run from scoring. And that was Parker Wingert with a great pickup on the chopper to third base. Strong throw over to first. And that gets us out of the second inning. So coming up to bat for the Brookings Cubs, the sixth hitter in the lineup, Miles Reese. He's the right fielder, number 7, out of USF. Justin Koffel on deck, and Tucker Wookie in the hole. That's our lineup as we get into the bottom of the second. I see that OKC's got a 21-15 lead over the T-Wolves at the moment. We'll keep you up to date on that. Just to go farther into what happened in Game 1, it was a strong start. I think the T-Wolves had an 8-0 lead right out of the box. A couple of three-pointers made, a nice jumper. Boy, and then it was turnovers. And, well, you know, if you are on Twitter at all or have been listening to Minnesota sports radio at all, the number of fouls were a problem. SGA flopping all over the place. Minnesota fans not happy about that stuff. But the T-Wolves just could not make three-pointers like they're normally doing. And just didn't get enough out of the bench as well as Naz Reid and Alexander Walker. Just weren't the difference makers that the T-Wolves need them to be. Miles Reese now down 0-2 in the count as we're in the bottom of the second. Right fielder out of USF. We'll pop that up. Second baseman underneath it, and that'll be out number 1 as it is caught by Logan Kelling. F4 for the first out of the bottom of the second, and that'll bring up Justin Koffel. Koffel. Strong shot. That is going to drop in front of the right fielder. Kofel rounds first, but he'll stay there. Throw over. Too late. So good single by Kofel. That'll bring up Tucker Wookie. Tucker Wookie is our left fielder tonight. He is number 4. His new job is to be a men's basketball assistant coach for SDSU. He is a Jackrabbits assistant on the staff of our new coach, as Coach Henderson left us to go take over the job at Drake. He may have taken a player or two with him. He took a recruit or two with him. I think that Goodberry fella out of Sioux Falls Christian heading down to Drake now to follow Henderson down there. 2-0 to Wookie. Tucker, always a fun conversation. I've been hanging around these baseball fields for a couple of the last summers with a camera in my hand. We'll do it different this year, but Tucker, always a fun conversation. 3-0. That pitch gets past the pitcher. Second baseman right there. 3-0 to Wook. Looks at a strike. 3-1 now. Ground ball, right side. Second baseman will pick that up. Play over to first, so it'll be a 4-3 putout for Wook, but he does move the runner over to second. As Kofel is on second base now, but the 4-3 putout is going to get 2 outs for the Cubs, and that'll bring Logan Anderson with the tag at home plate to stop a run by Brandon from scoring. Logan Anderson, another one of the USF clan, a Cougar. Ninth hitter in lineup tonight. Good stop by the catcher. That is Dawson Mork with a good stop right there. One to Anderson. Runner in scoring position. 2-0. Outside on that offering. Three and 0 now. 3-0 the ninth hitter in lineup. Anderson trying to find a way on, maybe get a hit here. Hit would score. Kofel, most likely. Hit to the outfield would do that. He'll look at a strike there. 3-1 now. She delivers inside, so Anderson's going to draw a walk. Cubs will have runners on first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Top of the order coming up. Isaac Bonner. The lefty. A pinch runner out there as well, number 34. That is Matt Garrard on first. Running for Anderson as he's probably coming back to get a lot of his catching gear on. Swung through. 0-1 to Bonner. Kofel on second. Anderson, well, I guess officially it's Garrard on first. With 2 outs and the leadoff hitter, Isaac Bonner, We'll send that to right center field. Strong shot. That is gone! Bonner with a 3-run shot here in the second inning, and the Cubs will take a 3-2 lead. Bonner gets a good pitch and tattoos it past the right center field fence. So Bonner with a dinger. Big shot there, and the Cubs take a 3-2 lead. Good job by Anderson on drawing that walk, keeping the inning alive with 2 outs, and Bonner comes up and brings them all home. That'll bring up Rhett Zielinski, the 2-hitter in the lineup. Cubs now playing with lead here in the bottom of the second. Big shot to right center field. Dimensions here, it's 370 to straight center. 320 down the line, so a great shot by Bonner. 1-1 now to Zielinski, the head coach of the Brookings Cubs. That'll be outside. Good eye there. 2-1. Between innings, I'll try to give you some sort of Twins update. They are off today, but there, plenty of updates to do there. Ooh, big swing by Zielinski. Goes right through that. 2-2 now. Good eye by Rhett. Full count now. 2 outs. Well, the Cubs now with a 3-2 lead. And that'll be outside. Zielinski draws a walk with 2 outs. That'll bring up the 3rd hitter in the lineup, Chase McDaniel. The lefty, Chase McDaniel. Our shortstop tonight, already with a great relay throw to Anderson to get a nice tag and prevent a run in the top of the second. Now coming to the plate with Zielinski on first. That'll be a line drive, left center field. That'll drop in for a hit. Zielinski's going to race over to third base. The throw in will be cut off by the shortstop. And now the Cubs threatening once again here with runners on first and third. Zielinski's on third. Chase McDaniel with a nice hit there. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the DH tonight, Lincoln Vasgard, number 22. Already 3 runs in for the Cubs in the second inning, but Vasgard can add to that right here. That'll be lifted to right and drop right in front of the right fielder. Another run in. Zielinski scores. McDaniel over to third. And it'll stay runners on first and third, but Zielinski scores on the single. McDaniel races over to third base. Vasgard with the good hit, and that'll bring up Parker Wingert, the 9th hitter coming to the plate in the second inning. Our third baseman tonight, already a couple of nice plays in the field. The lefty with 2 men on. Would be a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 now. Tapped. Pitcher will come up with that. toss over to first, and that will end the second inning. But the Cubs bring 4 across. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 2 walks, 2 men left on. But 4 runs come across for the Cubs as they take a 4-2 lead, and we will move to the top of the third. Good inning for the Cubs. Give you some tunes here as let's make some adjustments to some soundboarding here. All right, a good second inning for the Brookings Cubs, 4-2 now, as they send Jake Amon back out to the mound. Pitching with the lead now. See what they can do. This third inning is going to be brought to us by another fantastic sponsor tonight, GP Auto, Grant Peterson and friends. On the east side of Brookings, out by Electronics, they will get you back on the road. Engine repair, tire replacement, oil changes, whatever you need to get your car up and running once again. GP Auto will take care of you. Proud sponsors of our Sioux Valley Athletics, but now we'll add them to the Brookings Cubs list and see what kind of summer we can have with the Cubs this June and July. Thank you to GP for being a proud sponsor of Saul's Media Broadcasts. Must have been quarter break for those T-Wolves as I'm looking at Thunder running around on the ground. First up for Brandon, the top of the order. This is Tyler Sandbolt. He is their shortstop. He is number 7. Single and scored in the first. Move on with a 1-1 count now through this at bat. Top of the third. 4-2 lead for the Cubs. The big blast by Isaac Bonner, the leadoff hitter. Big 3-run shot to right center. Cubs are able to add one more after that. OKC's up 29-25 as they're starting their second quarter. I think I'm a couple of minutes behind anyone that's watching out there, but 2-2 now. See if those T-Wolves can actually, make 3-pointers tonight. Get some support from the bench. So disappointing after how well they played through the first 2 series of these playoffs for that bench to just not show up at all in game 1. Cost them a lot, and they lost by, 26, I think it was? Yeesh. There's a strikeout. That'll bring up Logan Kelling, the second hitter in the lineup for the Belugas. But a nice strikeout for Jake Amon. Amon. I'll get it right. Someone's going to have to help me out. Good pitch there. Gets ahead of Logan Kelling. Kelling, the second baseman for Brandon. Ground ball, second base. Fielded and tossed over to first. That'll be a 4-3 putout. 2 outs quickly here in the third. Good play by Isaac Bonner. So he's hitting 3-run shots and then making plays in the field as well. Bonner doing it all so far tonight. That'll bring up the third hitter in the lineup, Nick Hockenstead for Brandon. He had a strikeout in the first inning. Jake with a good pitch to start. Gets ahead of Hockenstead 1-0. outside, but that fastball, 1-1 now. That'll be chopped to the right side. Bonner off his glove, but it stays next to him. Tough play as he moved to his left. Just bounced off the web of the glove. So that'll be a hit by Hockenstead. A hit in my eyes. I don't know. We probably have some sort of official scorekeeper probably to my right, but we'll call it a single. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Daniel Butine, the right fielder for Brandon. Ball on the first offering, 1-0. Hockenstead on first. The throw over. Just keeping him honest over there. The lofted throw over to first. Two outs here in the top of the third. It'll be fouled off to the right. 1-1 now.
Remember to keep hustling those foul balls back to the front gate for 50 cents.
50 cents offering for foul balls returned. Kids will be running all over the place now. Jake offers. Good pitch there. Good fastball. 1-2 now. Just outside of that. 2-2 now. Jake gets the sign, looks, and fires just outside. 3-2 now. So a full count with two outs. To the cleanup hitter, Daniel Butine. Jake trying to get out of this. Throw over just a tad late. Good slide back in by Hockenstead. Jake fires right down the middle of the plate, and that'll be a looking strikeout for out number 3. That'll bring the Cubs to the plate. So a hit for Brandon, their second hit of the ball game. One man left on. 2 strikeouts, though, by Jake. His 4th strikeout of the night with that Butine looker. So for the Cubs, they start just like they did in the second inning. It'll be Miles Reese, Justin Kofel, and Tucker Wookie coming to the plate. 6, 7, 8 hitters in the lineup. Some other sponsors we want to thank. Just some fantastic sponsors that have helped us out through the Sioux Valley High School season. Health Source Chiropractic, the sponsors of our halftime show that we really had a lot of fun with that halftime show in the basketball season. If we were in a doubleheader sense, so both boys and girls playing that night, we would have the coach that was not coaching at the moment come up for halftime conversations. So it was Jamie Granham on the girls' side, Bill Vincent on the boys' side. Whoever wasn't busy would come up and have conversations at halftime. If they were off nights at the same moment, then we'd have some coaches. We had some friends. The Sioux Valley girls went all the way out to Spearfish for the Class A state tournament, ended up taking a consolation championship home. But we did have a conversation with the Augustana women's basketball coach, as he just happened to be sitting right next to us as we were calling the game. So we handed him a mic at one of the half times, and he was more than willing to have a great conversation with us. That was a lot of fun. But Health Source Chiropractic, a fantastic sponsor for Salts Media Broadcasts and Sioux Valley Athletics, sponsors of that Health Source halftime show. We'll do that again. It's a great season with Sioux Valley. As it turns out, they're going to send another team to a state tournament, as their girls golf team just qualified today to get to the state tournament. So football team takes runner-up down at the Dakota Dome. Volleyball heads out to their state tournament with a great Sodak 16 victory over Hill City that sent them down to Sioux Falls for the state tournament. They ended up taking 6th. Girls basketball takes home the Consolation Championship. Cross country heads to state. And now we've got a girls golf team heading. There's a strikeout by Miles Reese. Strikeout swing, and that's out number 1. This will bring up Justin Kofel. There's a strike there. So just to finish up that Sioux Valley conversation, the girls basketball team goes state, brings home Consolation Championship. Now they're sending their golf team to state. They've got several members of their track and field squad that'll be in Howard Wood next weekend for the state meet down in Sioux Falls. And they've got a softball team that I've been calling all spring that is on the verge. I mean, they've got some work to do yet. But at the moment, they're looking at maybe hosting their Sodex 16 matchup in Volga. Team yet to be determined, but they are right now the 6th seed in Class A standings. Sioux Valley softball will be off to Beersford on Saturday morning. They've got the Big East Conference tournament, so they'll play at 10, noon, and 2 o'clock. And see if they can't better their standing or maybe even possibly win the conference tournament, which would be fantastic. We'll have a lot of fun in Beersford on Saturday. Kofel will watch that. That's outside. Full count now for Kofel. Justin Kofel, our first baseman tonight. 3-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Good shot there, straight center field. It looks like the center fielder will be underneath that, and that'll be F8 for Kofel. Out number 2 for the Cubs. The catch by Austin Reeder out in center. And that'll bring up the SDSU men's basketball assistant coach, Tucker Wookie, to the plate. 4-3 putout for Wookie in the 2nd inning. Looks at strike 1. 5 hits so far for the Cubs. Big blast by Bonner. 3-run shot to right center field. There is Wookie with a nice line drive out to left field. There's a base hit. Getting things rolling with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. AJ with the tunes here for us tonight as Toby Keith comes on. Coming to the plate, Logan Anderson. He had the fantastic tag in the 2nd inning to stop a run from happening by Brandon. That was the Zielinski, McDaniel, Anderson trio on the playoff. A double that bounced off the bottom of the fence out there in left center. Zielinski with a good throw to short. McDaniel with a great relay at home, and Anderson with a great tag, stopping the run. 0-1 to Logan Anderson, the USF kid. Several USF Cougars on this Cubs roster. Anderson will swing through that, now down 0-2. Wookie on first. Anderson trying to move him around. Anderson, our catcher tonight. And he'll swing through that. That'll be a strikeout. And that ends the threat. One hit for the Cubs. One runner left. 2 strikeouts there. That is the first 2 strikeouts for Jake Neshy, the pitcher for Brandon. And that'll bring up the top of the order for the Cubs in the next inning. But before we do that, we'll head to the top of the 4th. The Belugas coming to the plate. Their 5-hitter up first. Nate Myers, Dawson Mork, and Austin Ryder. I'm going to write that down so I can say that correctly the rest of the way. Ryder is how I'm doing it. T-Will still hanging. About 6 minutes left in the second quarter. They're down 4 at the moment. Thunder on the move. That was a travel, but that is never called in the NBA. Oh, man. T-Will's trying to make it happen here in Game 2. They need to steal one down in Oklahoma. Otherwise, it could be spelling for trouble. Go back home down 0-2 is just not the way to do it. Not against the best record in the NBA in the regular season. OKC, all sorts of talent, all sorts of speed, all sorts of young kids as well, man. That OKC team, 68-14 on the regular season. Blew away the Western Conference. Took home the 1 seed and proved why in game number 1. T-Ball's going to have they're going to need a big night from Anthony Edwards. They need that bench to step up, man. Rudy Gobert, just start lobbing it to him in the paint. He's not a bench player, but, as far as a 7-footer goes, Rudy is pretty frustrating to watch. Stop throwing it to him, at the waist or below, because people keep stealing it from him, and that happens. So he's a 7-footer. Just lob it up to him in the paint. Man, one of those Lakers games rated, 27 points, 24 boards? He was dunking it all night long. Let's do that, I say, from my chair atop the press box of Bob Sheldon Field. This game's easy. I could coach that. Come on. See what the T-Wolves can do. Top of the 4th. Pops straight up. That'll be the first baseman getting underneath that. That is a good catch by Justin Kofel, and that'll be out number 1 on 1 pitch here in the 4th inning. F3, 1 out. AJ entertaining the crowd with some sound bites over there. Dawson Mork, the catcher, coming up for Brandon. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Anderson wondering where that pitch was. Jake also wondering where that pitch was. It'll be ball 1 as far as the umpire is concerned. Jake fires. That'll be fouled off over the right side. 1-1 now. Beautiful night here at Bob Sheldon Field. On the outside corner, 1-2 now to Mork. This field will be busy all summer long. The whole idea with putting this field turf on the inside, or on the infield, I guess I should say, is for how many teams play on this. This will make it much easier to maintain. So the city of Brookings put a lot of money together to revamp Bob Sheldon Field, the new stands, the new press box, new dugouts. That was a few years ago when the town put that together. And now receiving the rewards of that, or reaping the rewards of that, as many teams utilize this as the home field during the summertime. That'll be another strikeout for Jake. 5th strikeout of the night. Out number 2. Bring up center fielder Austin Ryder. He was the man that was thrown out at the plate Zielinski to McDaniel to Anderson at the plate, stopping that run. So a great relay by the Cubs. Ryder now comes up to the plate. A walk in his first at bat. 1-1 now. Low on that delivery. 2-1. So not only the Cubs utilizing Bob Sheldon Field, but the Bandits, the Shoots, the younger kids, the teener leagues. The Little League guys are off to our southwest on the 4 fields over there. But this field certainly gets used in the summertime. Part of the reason that it was an investment by the city of Brookings. Full count now. Full count with 2 outs. Austin Ryder at the plate for Brandon. A beautiful facility, though. Should be a lot of fun here in the summertime. That is going to be popped up left field. Wookie getting underneath that, and he'll make the catch out and left, and that'll end the threat. A 1-2-3 inning for Jake Ammon. He adds another strikeout, so 5 strikeouts for Ammon now. For the Cubs as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Top of the order coming up. Isaac Bonner, last time he came up, big, huge 3-run shot to right center field. So far tonight, he's got a double and a home run, 2 for 2 on his night. Talk about him more as he comes up to the plate. Another sponsor we are going to thank tonight. More of the fun that we had with Sioux Valley Athletics all season long, and it'll continue with the softball team until they're done. Bell Brands, my employer. Bell Brands, the makers of the Mini Baby Bells, the snack cheese of champions. Bell Brands, a fantastic sponsor of mine. Huge sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics, and a big supporter of all athletics around the area here as they help out the Brookings School District all the time. So thank you to Bell Brands, my employer, for sponsoring me to do things like this. They're probably tired of me taking as much vacation time as I do, but they were certainly more than willing to help me out through this and see if this announcing thing can turn into a thing. So we'll see what happens with that. But thank you, Bell Brands, for being a sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics, now the Brookings Cubs, and the Sauls Media broadcasts. A lot of fun doing this stuff. Good outing so far for the Brookings Cubs. Cubs have 6 hits on their night, 1 error as far as our scorekeeper says to my right. A 4-2 lead as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Trying to add to that. It's going to be top of the order coming up. Isaac Bonner. We have a new pitcher for Brandon. The new pitcher is going to be number 39. This is Cole Frisbee. So Neshi makes it 3 innings. Gives up 4 runs. And now we'll have Cole Frisbee on the mound for Brandon. Isaac Bonner, a big night already. 2 for 2 with a double and a home run. 1 run scored. He will send that to second base. Just a lazy grounder thrown over to first. And that'll be the first out of the 4th. First time that they've gotten Bonner out as well. So a 4-3 put out. Brings up the 2-hitter in the lineup, Rhett Zielinski, the head coach. He's got a single and a walk tonight. Scored a run. And he did get doubled up. Chase McDaniel did have a line drive to the first baseman. He was able to bring that in and step on first, basically in the same motion. Big swing there 0-1 to Zielinski. Zielinski down 0-2 now. OKC's got a 50-45 lead with 2:22 left to go in that first half. As soon as I get to halftime, we'll try to do some halftime stats and get you up to date on what the T-Wolves are doing. At some point, I got to get into some Twins news as well. That's outside 2-2. So Zielinski fighting back to a 2-2 count now here in this at bat, I should say. Rhett has been a helper of mine last couple of summers. Not only with the Cubs, but with the Bandits and some of the younger squads as well. The Shoots and the Teeners, always willing to put up with me. I always had a camera in my hand, and they let me hang out in the dugout or around the dugout without too much problem. Zielinski's going to send that to the right side, over the head of the right fielder. One bounce off the wall. Zielinski getting into second base, and he'll stop there. So a full count double by Zielinski. Good at bat for Rhett Zielinski. He'll bring up the third hitter in the lineup, Chase McDaniel. As my remote scoreboard is not reacting to what I want it to do. Conversation on the mound with Cole Frisbee. Dawson Mork, the catcher, out there chatting with him. Good at bat for Rhett Zielinski as he fought that to a full count after going down 0-2 in that lineup, in that at bat, to send that one bouncer to the right field fence, pretty close to that 320 sign. So Zielinski on second with one out. Chase McDaniel, the shortstop, comes to the plate. A bunt foul. Giggling as he comes back to home plate. Not sure if that was a planned bunt, surprise bunt. I don't know. He was giggling as he came back to the batter's box. So we'll see what is in store here for the rest of the at-bat. Outside on that offering. 1-1 now. Zielinski's double was the 7th hit of the night for the Cubs. Good night at the plate so far through 3+ innings. Fouled to the left side. 1-2 now to McDaniel. McDaniel out of Southwest Minnesota State, right in Marshall. Left-handed hitting shortstop. Swings through that. That'll be a strikeout for Cole Frisbee. That is out number 2. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter as well, number 22, Lincoln Vasgard. He's got a walk and a single so far tonight. Frisbee and Mork having another conversation on the mound. Dawson Mark back behind the plate. He's ready now. Zielinski throwing out some airport signals out there of what he wants Vasgard to do. And he will look at strike one. Umpire wanted to call it outside, though. 1-1. Lifted the arm, decided not to. 1-1 now for Vasgard. That'll be fouled off. 1-2 now to Vasgard. Another Southwest Minnesota State product. Delivered, pops straight up in the infield. Shortstop is calling everybody off, and he'll make the catch. Shortstop is Tyler Sunbolt. He makes the catch, and that'll end the rally here in the bottom of the fourth.
Bottom of the fourth inning for the Cubs. No runs, one hit.
No runs, one hit.
One runner left on base.
One left on. Just repeating what AJ is telling me. 4-2 lead as we move to the top of the fifth. Let me clear some things out here on my scoreboard. There we go. 4-2 lead here as we move to the top of the fifth. They play a full 9 here at the amateur ranks. OKC just hit a big three-pointer close to the end of the first half. It's a 56-50 lead. 58-50 with 3.4 seconds left in that first half. Caitlin Clark and her Indiana Fever, another win on the season to start their season, a win over the Atlanta Dream tonight. Once I get into more of my podcast, the continuation of the radio show that I had on Brookings Radio, we got to start talking about the WNBA a lot more, man. I do a lot of T-Wolves talk, a lot of Twins talk. T-Wolves, if they can't get past Oklahoma City, we're going to need something more to talk about during that, a half hour to an hour podcast once or twice a week. Put it in my downtime. Once again, that is right here on YouTube. This is the Jason Salzman channel on YouTube. You can also find all the Sioux Valley Athletics things in there, and now we'll add the Brookings Cubs and throw them in the mix. See what we can do here this summer. But we're going to have to start talking about Caitlin Clark, the Minnesota Lynx. It took runner-up to the New York Liberty it was just a tough ending to that Game 5 in New York. Otherwise, the Lynx would have added another trophy to their trophy case. And the Lynx brought all those starters back for this season. And Avisha Collier has been absolutely lights out in the first 3 games. So the Lynx start 3-0 on their season. Fever get a win tonight. I think they're 2-1 on their year, as Atlanta may have beaten them once. No, it wasn't Atlanta. I got to look at that now. And we're at halftime of my T-Wolves game, so I'll have some time to look around ESPN. That ball gets past Anderson. 3-1 now. Hitting for Brandon, this is the 8th hitter in lineup. This is Braden Byram, the left fielder. He does have a double so far tonight. And did that hit him? No, I think he's just walking, right? Okay. As I was saying, there's name. He draws a walk. So Brandon has a man on with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Bringing up the designated hitter, the 9th man in the lineup. This is Peyton Brown, number 24. Swings through that. Foul tipped is the call, so 0-1 now. Throw out at first. Byram gets safely back on the throw over. Readjusting my headset here as it's digging into my glasses and causing me a little pain above my ear. New glasses, still adjusting, Had my old glasses for a couple of years, but it was time to re-up. That is not a very good swing, and that'll be a strikeout. Another strikeout for Jake Ammon. His 6th of the night. to bring up one out with Byram on first base. Top of the order coming up as Tyler Sandbolt, the shortstop, comes to the plate with one out and one man on. Good stop by Anderson. Good pickup there. Actually saved Byram from jetting on down to second, so it was a great stop as it bounced in the left-handed batter's box. Ammon, check swing. We'll get a strike out of that, yeah. So 1-1 count now to the top of the order, Tyler Sandbolt. Swing through that. That goes right into the Cubs dugout. Look out! 1-2. I don't see anyone yelling for medical attention, so everybody must be fine in there. 1-2 to Sandbolt. With a man on and one out. Top of the fifth. Anderson has a hard time getting a hold of that. Throw up to second. It's going to be too late. That goes out into center field. But Sandbolt will stay at second. I don't think he realized how far that went into center. So 2-2 our count now. But Sandbolt on second base. Sorry, Byram on second base. Sandbolt's hitting. Still getting this baseball thing down. 3-2 now, full count. To Sandbolt. Byram's on second. I'll get it right eventually. Too high on that. Sandbolt's going to draw a walk. So now runners on first and second with the second hitter lineup coming. Logan Kelling coming to the plate. One out here in the top of the fifth. Foul back. You can hear it rattling on the roof of the stands here. Logan Kelling, the second baseman for Brandon tonight. The Belugas. Good stop again by Anderson. 1-1 now. Byram on second, Sandbolt on first. One out, top of the fifth. Brandon on the attack here. That is too low, 2-1. As outside gets away from Anderson, runners will advance. Three and one now to Kelling, with runners on second and third now. That is too low. That walk is going to load him up. Kelling walks, loads him up with one out here in the top of the fifth. And that'll bring a conversation from bench coach.
Number 3,
Eamon not coming out, just a conversation out there. Now Zielinski out there as the head coach. This is the assistant coach, and I'm not sure who that is actually. AJ will help me out at some point. So the third hitter in the lineup, this is Nick Hockenstad, the third baseman for Brandon, coming to the plate with bases loaded. And that first pitch is going to get past Anderson, and another run coming in for Brandon. Byram trots across on the pass ball. Wild pitch probably is what we'll call that. Sandvolt goes over to third. Kelling off to second. And a run comes across for the Belugas. 2-0 now. Hockenstad with a strikeout in the first, single in the third. Facing a 2-1 count now. Low and inside. 3-1 to Hockenstad now. Jake battling it on the mound. Good pitch there. Good fastball, 3-2. Full count, 1 out, top of the fifth. And a good strikeout there. Out number 2. Hockenstad whiffs on that, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Daniel Butine. He's got a ground out to second base and a strikeout so far in his night. Jake trying to get out of this. Low and outside on the ball 1. There's a pitch on the outside corner. 1-1. Gonna be tapped to the left side. It's gonna hit third base. Fair ball. Winger decided to let it go as it was starting to roll towards the chalk. And it just managed to hit third base to stay fair. So Sandvolt comes in to score. Kelling safe at third, and Butine with an infield single and an RBI. Strike 1 to Nate Myers, the first baseman for the Belugas. But the Belugas have tied it up now here in the top of the fifth. Strike 2 to Myers. And a check swing strikeout. Yeah, he went. So another strikeout for Jake, his 8th of the night. That will end the threat here in the top of the fifth, but 2 more come across for the Belugas, and they tie it at 4. As the Cubs will come to bat now with a tie ball game. Another sponsor we can thank, Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Another fantastic sponsor of all the Sioux Valley Athletics things that we were doing all season long with the Cossacks. Tropical Smoothie Cafe was nice enough to provide us with gift certificates for the volleyball squad and for the basketball squads to provide the player of the game. Player of the game obviously got that gift certificate for a free smoothie. Thank you to Ann Park, who is a fantastic owner of Tropical Smoothie Cafe and a friend of mine. And she was more than willing to be part of these Sauls Media broadcasts and Sioux Valley Athletics. A lot of fun, and we'll do that again in the year coming up. As you know, football in the fall seems like a long ways away right now, but summers always, always, always fly right on by. Every year it happens. You know, you just get in the sunshine, you get into a golf course, you get on the lake, go fishing. Boy, summer just flies by compared to, you know, our colder times, our winter months. But, you know, as busy as I've stayed with this, you know, football season flew on and through. The basketball season was a blink of an eye, man. And I got to follow a team to a state tournament. So it was, you know, the end of November, beginning of December, all the way to the middle of March. And it seemed like it was a blink. for how fast that moved through. But a lot of fun with the Sioux Valley Cossacks all season long. Still a softball team trying to make their mark as we'll head off to Beersford on Saturday for a conference tournament. And then we will hopefully get to host a Sodax 16 matchup Tuesday afternoon in Volga. And, you win those Sodax 16 matchups. As our high school kids know around South Dakota, you move off to the state tournament from there. That's the hope. But we'll head down to Beersford first on Saturday. But thank you. That all started with Tropical Smoothie Cafe right on 6th Street here in Brookings. Get on down there. Fantastic business here in Brookings. Fantastic restaurant. They got good lunches. There's a lot of other stuff. Yes, they have smoothies, dear, but they have a lot of other good stuff. So head on down to Tropical Smoothie. They're right across the street from the Brookings Aquatic Center on 6th Street, right next to McDonald's on 6th Street. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, a proud sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics and the Sauls Media broadcasts. And now, the Brookings Cubs, as far as tonight goes. We'll see what this season brings as well. I'm talking pretty loud. I wonder if the people below me can hear all the yapping I'm doing up here. First up for the Cubs, Parker Wingert. And he will look at a strike. 2-1 now to Wingert. The third baseman out of Martin Luther College in New Ulm. Told a former Brookings kid by Aaron Jornby, our scorekeeper tonight. That is a chopper. Good play by the shortstop. Wow. Good throw there. Sunbolt fires that across. And that'll be a 6-3 putout for Wingert, bringing up Miles Reese, the right fielder. One of the USF Cougars on the roster. Miles Reese with a fly out to the second baseman and a strikeout so far tonight. So 0 for 2 on his night, but trying to get into the positive ranks. And we'll start with a strike. 0-1 now on his count. OKC is ahead 58-50 at halftime as far as ESPN is telling me. T-Wolves in some trouble. Got to turn around. Reese now down 0-2 in his count. Check swing strike. We will check with the first base umpire, and he confirms. Check swing strikeout. Reese with the second strikeout of the game. Brings up 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th for the Cubs, and that'll bring Justin Kofel to the plate. He's got a single and a fly out to center. He's scored once. Trying to start a rally here with 2 outs. Tied at 4. Kofel watch that outside with the first offering. Good strike there. Good pitch. Good shot in between the third baseman and shortstop. Good single by Kofel. His first hit of the night. So a 2-out single will bring up Tucker Wookie. He had a single in his last at bat. They are underway in Oklahoma City as OKC strikes first in the third quarter. It's a 10-point deficit now for the T-Wolves. Wookie's going to follow that off. 0-1 now. Throw it on to first. Coleful slides back in. But a strike on the outside corner at the same moment. So 0-2 to Wookie. And he will watch strike 3. Woof. So that will end the 5th. 1 hit, 1 left on. 2 strikeouts for Cole Frisbee in the inning. And we will head to the top of the 6th, tied at 4. Another sponsor we can thank, the Man Cave Barbershop. Basically right across the street from right here. Alicia and friends will take care of you. A great barbershop, My Hair Cutters. They are also the unofficial SDSU football team hair cutters. Alicia, a great business owner and a great sponsor, a great friend as well. And yeah, if your family needs some haircuts, you know, the kids, yourself, the husband, brother, aunts, uncles, whoever needs a haircut in the family, bring them on down to the Man Cave Barbershop. They're right on South Madera, right across from Brookings High School. They're basically right across the street from Bob Sheldon here. So, Alicia, great friend, great sponsor. She was more than willing to be a sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics at the same moment and be a part of these Sauls Media broadcasts. So thank you to Alicia for being a part of these. T-Wolves now down 9 points. The Twins talk I was trying to get to you. You know, they went on this 13-game win streak that was ruined just last Sunday by the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee. They come back home and have had a kind of a tough week. Not really playing games, but weather-wise. Game 1 of the series against the Cleveland Guardians gets rained out, or suspended, I guess I should say. It was suspended in the 4th. So they tried to get that in the next day. That was a total rain out, so they ended up playing 2 games on Wednesday. It was supposed to be just one game at, 12:10? The official game of the day didn't start till 3-ish or 4-ish in the afternoon as they had to finish up the first one. The Tuesday game gets postponed to September, and now they have a day off back at Target Field, and they'll await the Royals coming to town for the weekend. So a 7:10 start on Friday night, and then it's 1 o'clock Saturday, Sunday. These divisional opponents for the Twins, you know, they go on a 13-game win streak, and they did gain a game or two, but they were still 4.5 back of the first-place Tigers when they were done with the win streak. That's how good the Tigers have been. The best record in baseball going into this week. I'd have to check the standings here, which, you know, I do have some time to do that. But the Detroit Tigers, the best record in baseball. They were the first team to get to 30 wins this season. Who'd have thought that with the Yankees and all the money and Aaron Judge? The Dodgers with all their money and Shohei Ohtani. It was the Detroit Tigers that got to 30 wins first. Just amazing. So the Twins rattle off 13 in a row and gain some ground, but not a lot. Usually 13-game win streaks, you're thinking, yeah, vault yourself right into first in the division, and that was not the case with the Twins. They vaulted themselves to second place, I guess, about a half game above the Guardians and Royals. And now they're battling with those two teams this week. Big series for the Minnesota Twins this weekend with the Kansas City Royals coming to town. That'll be fouled straight back. 1-2 now. Batting for the Belugas, this is the catcher, Dawson Mork. He's got a ground out to third and a strikeout so far tonight. 0-2. Now down 1-2 in the count. Jake with a great pitch there. Actually, this is Zach Struck on the mound now. Number 20 out there. Great pitch right there. Another strikeout by the Cubs staff. Got busy yapping and didn't see the relief pitcher come in. So 1 out for the Belugas here in the top of the 6th. Zach Struck on the mound now. For the Belugas, it's Austin Ryder coming to the plate. He's got a walk and a fly out so far tonight. He was thrown out at home plate in the second inning. Good strike there. Good pitch. Strucky can fire it. Seen this in the past through all of his time up through the ranks in Brookings Friends of Brookings Baseball, the Bandits last year. Good pickup by Wingard, and he fires across. That'll be a 5-3 putout for out number 2 for the Belugas. Yeah, Strucky can fire it. Bandits had a good season last year. Got to host the state tournament here and just fell a little bit short. Got to that championship game and just couldn't make it happen. Strucky a part of that. That ball gets past Anderson, 1-0. This is Braden Byram at the plate. He's got a double and a walk. He's scored once for the Belugas. Scored last inning on a wild pitch. That'll be to straight center field. Zielinski charging, diving, and he'll bring that in on a sliding catch. Rhett Zielinski being the head coach and the star of center field. That'll end the threat here in the top of the 6th. No hits, no runs. For the Cubs staff now, this is Jake Amon and Zach Struck. They have combined now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. 8 of them by Jake. Strucky gets one there in the top of the 6th. So we move to the bottom of 6. We're tied at 4. 9th hitter, and then the top of the order coming to the plate. Logan Anderson with Bonner and Zielinski right behind him. 9th hitter in the lineup, also known as the second leadoff hitter, and this is why. So Logan Anderson's going to prove that to be true coming up right here. Another sponsor we can thank right on the screen there. Back Alley Meats, a fantastic sponsor, a fantastic butcher shop in downtown Volga. Back Alley Meats, man. Chops, steaks, burgers, brats, everything you need, man. If you've got, a party in the backyard or just grilling out on a Friday night, you got something planned, maybe a graduation party or something like that, Back Alley Meats, man. They've got everything you need there. A fantastic butcher shop. Quality is the key for Back Alley Meats, man. Thank you to Dan and friends of being sponsors of Sioux Valley softball in the springtime here, and we'll make them a bigger part of the fall sports coming in August and September, and keep them rolling through the basketball season next year as well. But Back Alley Meats, man, they've got a new product there that they're trying out. They're called jerky chips. Oh my God, so addictive, so good. Get yourself some jerky chips. Stop on down to Back Alley Meats, downtown Volga. Thank you for being a sponsor of the Sauls Media broadcasts and Sioux Valley Athletics, and now being a part of the Brookings Cubs. We'll see what happens with the summertime. Logan Anderson down 0-1 in his count. Cole Frisbee still on the mound, and that is going to be wide. 1-1 now for Anderson. Top of the order coming up next. Outside for ball 2. 2-1 now to Anderson. Anderson has walked, scored once, and has a strikeout. So he's 0 for 1 on his day with a walk and a run. Looks at strike 2 there. Good pitch. Outside. Full count now. Logan Anderson battling with Cole Frisbee. T-Wolves have cut it to 5. 6:28 left to go in the third. And Anderson is going to swing through that. His second strikeout of the night. Going to bring one out, and the top of the order coming up. Isaac Bonner, the second baseman, he does have the big 3-run shot tonight to right center field. He's added a double. 2 for 3 in his night with a ground out in the 4th inning. Now coming up in the 6th here with 1 out. The lefty will send that to the right fielder over his head. One bouncer to the wall. He's rolling into second, looking at third, and he will stop at second base. Big double for Isaac Bonner, who is seeing it very well tonight. Now 2 doubles and a home run for Isaac Bonner. So Rhett Zielinski, the number 2 hitter in the lineup, he'll come to the plate with Isaac Bonner in scoring position. Rhett with a single, a double, a walk, and a run scored. 2 for 2 on his night with a walk and a run scored. Rhett Zielinski now with runner in scoring position. Tied at 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. He'll look at strike 1. Outside on that delivery, 1-1 now. Rhett Zielinski, also the head coach of the Brookings Cubs. It's a USF product. Part of the many Cougars that are on this roster. Send that right up the middle. Shortstop is going to pick that up, throw it to first, but the runner does advance to third base. Bonner's going to be over at third. That is a 6-3 putout. Nice play by Tyler Sandbolt of the Belugas. So now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And a man on third. And that'll bring up the left-hander, third hitter in the lineup, Chase McDaniel. Outside on first pitch. McDaniel gets ahead 1-0 in the count. Two 2-0 now. Sent to the right side. Bouncer. Second baseman will pick that up and throw that over to first for the out. Logan Kelling with a good play. And that'll end the threat. The 4-3 putout. That ends the 6th inning. Still tied at 4. We will move to the top of the 7th. T-Will still battling. I've got them down 7 on my sketchy website that I'm actually watching them on my laptop. Just not closing that gap. This Oklahoma City team has been so good all year. 68-14 on the regular season. That's not bad. Start talking about some of the best records. You start approaching 70 wins on your season, you're doing some damage out there, and OKC showing why that record is coming true. Big win in Game 1. Still lead here in Game 2 as the Wolves are battling. But we'll see what happens with that. Beautiful night for baseball here at Bob Sheldon Field. We're tied at 4 as we head to the 7th. Zach Struck back on the mound as he came in relief last inning. Got a strikeout on the board, so he adds 1 strikeout to Jake's 8. on the evening. Belugas scored 2 in the first inning, added 2 more in the 5th. Final warm-up throws are done. We've got a pinch hitter coming to the plate for Peyton Brown. This is number 99, taking over the DH duties, Tyler Grutner. So Peyton Brown had a ground out and a strikeout. Tyler Grutner comes to the plate. And he will look at strike one. 1-1 count now. I missed the first one. Sorry, I was writing him down in my scorebook. Foul tip. 1-2 for pinch hitter Tyler Grutner, the new DH now. We're tied at 4 here, top of the 7th. Brookings Cub do have 9 hits on their night, 4 runs, 1 error. The Belugas have scored 4 runs on just 3 hits. Strucky will deliver. It'll bounce to home plate, 2-2. Swings through that. Strucky adds another strikeout, his second of his relief appearance. And that'll bring up the top of the order for the Belugas. Tyler Sandbolt comes to the plate. Strucky fires, gets ahead of Sandbolt, 1-0. 0-1, sorry. Gets ahead of him. A little low on that. 1-1. That'll be tapped right back to Struck. He'll pick that up, fire it over first, and get the out. An excuse me tapper to the pitcher. And that'll be a 1-3 putout for out number 2. That'll bring up the 2-hitter in the lineup for the Brandon Belugas, Logan Kelling, and I believe we have another pinch hitter, 27, coming up. And this will be Jackson Adams. Let me clear that out. Get that correct. Strucky's ahead in the count, 0-1. Strucky fires inside on that, 1-1 now. Outside in that, 2-1 to pinch hitter Jackson Adams for the Belugas. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, still tied at 4. Struck back off the mound. Collect himself, gets his sign, and will fire. A little low, 3-1. And that'll also be too low, so I'll walk to the pinch hitter, Jackson Adams. We'll bring up the 3rd hitter in lineup. This is Nick Hockenstead coming to the plate. Swings through strike 1. That bounces to Anderson, the catcher. 1-1 now. Swings through strike 2. Not the best swing we've ever seen. Caught that in between. Wanted to hold up, couldn't do it. Knew he shouldn't have swung instantly. Couldn't hold himself up. 1-2 now. Be outside. 2-2. Strucky battling. Hockenstad has a single and 2 strikeouts so far tonight. Just a bit high. 3-2 now. Full count. 2 outs. With Jackson Adams on first. Strucky battling. Tapper. Wingert's going to fire that. We've got he tripped coming out of the batter's box. So that'll be an easy throw by Wingert over to first, and that'll be how it ends. So Hockenstad stumbles out of the gates, and that'll be a 5-3 putout to end the threat here in the top of the 7th inning. The 7th inning stretch.
Top of the 7th for Brandon. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left on base. 2 up for the Cubs in the bottom of the 7th. Vascar, Winghart.
The old 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and some Cracker Jacks. Because I don't care if we ever get back. Sing it, AJ. Having some fun up here in the booth. We are separated by a wall, but I can see them through the window. OKC up now, 77-64 in the third. The T-Wolves just not catching up. It's going to take a big fourth quarter to try to steal one in OKC. T-Wolves going to have a tall hill to climb down 0-2 as that comes to Target Field on Saturday for Game 3. But the Twins in second place, they've got a 3-game series starting tomorrow. Tomorrow night at Target Field, 7:10 start. The Minnesota Lynx off to a 3-0 start on their season as well. Bring up some standings for the WNBA. I know you're excited. Maybe I'm the most excited. I'm not sure. The Lynx have the best record in the WNBA at that 3-0 mark. Liberty are 2-0. Phoenix Mercury 2-0. And the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark 2-1 in their season now. We'll go through the rest of that as we roll through these late innings here. At the plate for the Brookings Cubs, this is Lincoln Vasgard, designated hitter, the cleanup hitter at the same time, number 22. He will be ahead in the count, 2-0. Looks like a new pitcher for the Belugas as well, now 3-0. I was busy yapping through my WNBA time. This could be number 20 up there. Is that the number I'm seeing? Yes. And it'll be a 4-pitch walk to the cleanup hitter. So Vasgard on first to start the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring Parker Winghart, not Wingert, Winghart, to the plate. Third baseman tonight made some nice plays out in the field. He will tap one. That is going to be the pitcher struggling to get a handle on it. Still doesn't have a handle on it, and that'll be an infield hit. My official scorekeeper to my right is going to call that an error, I would imagine, but in my book, we're calling that an infield single. So with nobody out here in the bottom of the seventh, tie game at 4. The right fielder, Miles Reese, will come to the plate with 2 men on. Great opportunity as the Cubs have something cooking here in the bottom of the 7th. That'll be a strike in the outside corner. The pitcher is number 20. This is Jared Zerr. Tough start for him so far. Pitching out of the stretch. That's inside. 1-1 now. Miles Reese will watch that outside, 2-1. T-Wolves just are not catching up. 2:30 left to go in the third. It's a 15-point spread now. Thunder have opened this up. 3-1 to Miles Reese. 2 men on, hitter's pitch. And there's a solid shot, left center field. Great base hit. That's going to score a run. So the Cubs take a 5-4 lead on the RBI single. Vasgard comes around to score. Winghart to second, and Miles Reese with an RBI single will make this a 5-4 ball game by our Brookings Cubs. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Justin Kofel coming to the plate, our first baseman tonight. 2 men on and nobody out. First pitch is outside. 1-0 to Kofel. Foul back off the netting. 1-1. Kofel tonight with 2 singles. He has scored once. Fly out to center, so 2 for 3 on his night with a run scored. Great opportunity here. That is on the outside corner, 1-2 now. Big swing there. That's a big strikeout for relief pitcher Jared Zerr of the Belugas. And that'll bring up Tucker Wookie, the left fielder, new SDSU men's basketball assistant coach. He will look at an outside pitch, gets ahead in the count, 1-0. 2 teammates on first and second out there. Still a big opportunity. Check swing through that. 1-1 now. Wook is the 8th hitter in the lineup. Logan Anderson on deck. That is going to be chopped foul to the third base side. 1-2 though, the count. Everybody gets back. And that'll be a strikeout for Wook. 2 strikeouts in a row. 2 outs now. Still 2 men on, and that'll bring Logan Anderson, the catcher, the 9th hitter in the lineup, to the plate. Logan with a walk, a run scored, and 2 strikeouts tonight. Still an opportunity with 2 men on out there. It'll be too high. 1-0 for Anderson to start. Too low on that one. 2-0 now. T-Will's just not getting any closer, man. I'm turning this video off. It's just depressing. My laptop now will just be full of whatever ESPN has on it. Good curveball there. 2-1. That's right on the outside corner. 2-2 now. We do have one fan sitting on the hill in right field. Brought his puppy along. They're playing a little fetch out there. The hill and right, another good spot here at Bob Sheldon Field. Catching a game on a summertime afternoon. That pitch fouled off. It'll stay 2-2. The Cubs have added a run here. Vasgard came around on the Miles Reese single. So a 5-4 lead. Hoping to add to it here, and Anderson's going to fight that to a full count now. So runners will be on the move. Full count with 2 outs. Logan Anderson trying to make some contact with 2 runners on the move here. Well struck. Off the glove of the second baseman. He recovers nicely and will throw Anderson out to end the threat. So a 4-3 putout ends the 7th inning. That play by Jackson Adams at second base. A nice job there of getting a glove on that and staying with it. So that ends the 7th. And we'll move to the top of the 8th. A 5-4 lead for the Brookings Cubs. Another sponsor we're going to thank, Nick's Hamburgers, the legendary hamburger spot in downtown Brookings. Buy 'em by the bag. Nick's Hamburger, a staple of downtown Brookings for over a century. Just a fantastic hamburger spot, cheeseburger spot if you want to. Throw some pickles on there, a little mustard, a little ketchup, maybe an onion. Fantastic spot. They're getting beat up, my man. Those T-Wolves now down 20 with 1:13 left in the 3rd. I turned off the video. It was too disgusting. T-Wolves are looking like they're going to be down 0-2 as they come back to Target Field on Saturday for Game 3. Another Minnesota season ending with a thud. As a Minnesota sports fan, I know the feeling. In baseball news, how's this for a headline? The Colorado Rockies off to worst 50-game start since 1895. You know, as baseball fans, we thought that the Chicago White Sox were god-awful last year. And, oh, by the way, they were. The Rockies are on pace to be worse. 8-42 to start their first 50 games so far in the 2025 campaign. They've already fired their manager. Colorado fell to 8-42, the worst 50-game start in MLB's modern era. That's starting at 1901. Before that, you have to go back to the 1895 Louisville Colonels. A 7-43 start to find something worse. Yeesh. Just when you thought that the White Sox put together a season that was a mark that you never, ever want to get to, here come the Colorado Rockies in 2025. 8-42 to start their season. Ugh. The amazing part is the Colorado Rockies, it's a fantastic stadium, as I'm told. I've never been, but it looks pretty in pictures. Hitters seem to have a lovely time at Coors Field. They still get crowds, man, so the atmosphere must still be worth it. I think it was just a week or two ago they were talking about maybe the worst April that's ever happened, and they had 30,000 people at that home game as they lost another. They fired their manager the next day with 30,000 people still there. 3-2 now. I'll catch up to what I'm trying to do on my scoreboard here. 3-2. This is the cleanup hitter for the Belugas, Daniel Butine. And he will take a walk to start the top of the 8th.
Number 26, Nate Myers.
My remote is failing me again. So clear that out. And on first. Nobody out. And we'll get back to a 1-0 count now for Nate Myers, the first baseman. That pitch low, 2-0 now. Nate Myers, first baseman for the Belugas. Two strikeouts and a fly out to first base so far in his night. So 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And the count 2-1. Strucky fires that in there. 2-2 now. Nate Myers, the 5th hitter in the lineup. Butine, the cleanup hitter, walked right before this. That will be slapped to the left side. That is Winghart to second, to first. Great double play. Winghart starts it. It is a 5-4-3 DP. 2 outs now in the top of the 8th. Parker Winghart with a great play there.
With 2 outs, the catcher, Dawson Moore.
Dawson Moore, the catcher, coming to the plate. I got some more stats for those Colorado Rockies here once we get in between innings. Strucky outside with his first delivery to Dawson Moore, 1-0. Cubs have a 5-4 lead here, top of the 8th. Strucky trying to hold on to it. Low on that delivery, 2-0 now. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2-1. Misses on that try. 3-1 now. Mark sends that to left field. That is going to get to the wall. Wookie picks that up right in front of the signs out there. Throws that into the infield over the cutoff man, and the throw over to third as a tag out at third base. Wookie throws it over the shortstop. Second baseman is heads up, and that runner Dawson Mork trying to steal over to third is tossed out at third base, and that'll end the threat. So a 7-4-5 put out. Don't see those very often. Mork getting greedy, trying to get over to third, and he's tossed out at third base, and that'll end the 8th. Resetting things, bottom of the 8th. There we go. All right. So, for our Cubs now, up 5-4. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Top of the order coming up. Isaac Bonner, who's had himself a big night at the plate already. 2 doubles and a 3-run shot to right center field. He does have a ground out to second base as well, so a 3-for-4 night. Further stats on the downfall of the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies are 5-20 at home and are on pace to lose 136 games this season, which would pass the 1899 Cleveland Spiders for the most losses by an MLB team. That Spiders team in 1899 was 20-134. By contrast, the Chicago White Sox set the modern era record for the most losses just last year at 121. The Rockies are projected to lose 15 more games than that terrible White Sox squad last season. Yeesh. That is god-awful. Yeesh. Boy, that is rough. Those Rockies, man. Something is not right in the water there. You know, as far as all the stories that I've read, this is an ownership squad that doesn't want to play the analytics game like a lot of the other teams in the MLB are doing now, including the Twins. Rocco Baldelli, an analytics guy for sure. There's been a lot of times where I've cursed and swore at a TV screen as he's taking out a starting pitcher that is absolutely cruising because he doesn't want that pitcher to go through a lineup for the third time. And, he probably knows what he's doing compared to me being the armchair, manager. But analytics are a big part of that. This is Isaac Bonner skying that fly ball to right field, and that will be caught for out number 1. That is Daniel Butine that brings that in. Skies a fly ball for out number 1. That'll bring Rhett Zielinski to the plate. The center fielder and head coach. But the Rockies just falling behind with their front office mentality. They've made some free agent moves that have not worked out at the same time. They're not developing out of their youngsters in the minor league system, and it's from the stories that I've read, the research that I've done. They're just falling behind with their mentality. They're still in an old school MLB mentality, and they've fallen behind the rest of the league to the point where they are projected to be 15 games worse than any modern era team, including the White Sox, who were terrible last year. Zielinski now ahead 2-1 in the count. But that said, it was just a week ago they had 30,000 people at a home game. Fired their manager the next day. Yeesh. 3-1 now to Zielinski. And Rhett is going to draw a walk. So with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th, Zielinski draws a walk, brings up Chase McDaniel, the third hitter in the lineup. Our shortstop tonight. He's got a single, a strikeout, a line out that turned into a double play. And a ground out too short. That is going to be a good hit through the left side. Zielinski will stop at second. Good single. 2 men on now here in the bottom of the 8th. Daniel with a solid single there, his second hit of the night. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, Lincoln Vasgard. Vasgard's got a single, 2 walks, a fly out, and has scored once. And now he's got 2 teammates out there. Ball 1. Solid shot right down the third base line. That's going to be foul as it goes just left of the third base bag. Close, but just a strike. 1-1 now. To the cleanup hitter, Vasgard. Product out of Southwest Minnesota State. Big shot, straight center field. That is Ryder underneath that. He makes the catch. Both runners looking to advance, and they will. Zielinski slides into third. On the field turf, he slid right over third base. But that'll be an F8, but both runners advance. Zielinski to third. McDaniel to second. But 2 outs now. Parker Winghart coming to the plate. He's had some fantastic plays at third base tonight. The big left-hander. Does have a single and a fielder's choice on his night. A ground out to the pitcher. That was just a weak one. And a ground out to short. 2-0 now. Parker out of Martin Luther College in New Ulm, Minnesota. There's a shot right up the middle. Shortstop will pick that up, fire it over to first, and that'll do it. Shortstop Tyler Sandbolt with a good play there. And the ground out to short for Winghart. And that'll do it for the 8th inning. We move to the top of the 9th. Brookings Cubs with a 5-4 lead. Trying to close this out. Coming to the mound, Zach Struck. Try to close this out. Strucky does have 3 strikeouts so far in his relief appearance. 2 strikeouts, sorry. I had 1 extra in there. So 2 strikeouts in his relief appearance so far. Strucky pitching well tonight in relief appearance. It'll be Jake Almond, who started this with 8 strikeouts, but Zach came in with a tie game, so Zach can get the win here. Not the save, the win. Coming up for the Belugas, they're looking at the bottom of their order. So 7th hitter in the lineup, this is Austin Ryder coming up first. Braden Byram on deck, and Tyler Krutner, who came in a pinch hitting appearance in the 7th inning. He'll get his second at bat. That is the lineup, 7, 8, 9 for the top of the 9th inning. Major sponsor that we want to thank again for being a part of all of these Sauls Media broadcasts. Our exclusive presenter, Bankstar Financial, with locations in Volga, Brookings, and Elkton. Bankstar Financial gives you a big-time business with a small-town feel. Looking to finance a home? Need a car loan? How's your retirement plan looking? Stop in today to chat with the local professionals. Bank on the bright side. Bankstar Financial, a proud sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics, the Brookings Cubs now, and the Sauls Media broadcast. Thank you, Bankstar, for backing everything that we do here on Sauls Media. We move to the top of the 9th. Zach Struck on the mound, trying to get the win, as he will face number 44. This is Justin Devine, pinch hitting for Ryder. We'll look at a strike. So 1-1 now to pinch hitter Devine. And is fouled straight back. It's going to cruise over the press box here. So 1-2 now to pinch hitter Devine. A little low on that. 2-2 now. Strucky trying to pitch a strong ninth inning here to get the win in a relief appearance. Just inside there. Looked good. Full count now. Right up the middle. Strong line drive. Justin Devine will start the ninth inning for the Belugas with a single. And they have a man on first, so nobody out.
Number 11, Braden Byram.
Braden Byram coming to the plate now. This is number 11. He's their left fielder. A double, a walk, and a run scored with a flyout. Another visit to the mound as just getting the plan down with Strucky out there. It's a 5-4 lead for the Brookings Cubs. Trying to start their season 3-0 tonight. Strucky is going to come out. A relief appearance now as they are bringing in someone who's going to try to close this out. That is number 20. No, 20 is Zach Struck. What is that? 22. So they'll bring on Lincoln Vasgard, who's been the DH all night. Now he'll try to come on and close this out.
Now pitching for the Cubs, number 22, Lincoln Vasgard.
Vasgard getting some warm-ups in now. Update on the T-Wolves. With 6:38 left to go in the fourth quarter, it is 102-86. The T-Wolves down 16 with 6.5 minutes left to go. Looking like an 0-2 hole for the T-Wolves as they come back to the friendly confines for Saturday. That OKC team, they are really good, man. Oof. Not that the T-Wolves are bad. They had a great finish to the season. Took a while to get everything molded up with Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo. That was the trade that sent Cat to the Knicks in the end of training camp, beginning of the season. It took about half the season for that whole system to gel, and they certainly did in the last month of the season. Went 17-4 to close out the regular season. Breezed through the Lakers, breezed through the Warriors without Steph Curry. And now looking at going down 0-2 against the Thunder. 1-1 count now. Vasgard against Braden Byram. Too high in that offering. 2-1. That pitch is going to bounce to the plate. 3-1 now. So the Belugas have a man on first. That's Justin Devine with his single. Devine in a pinch runner for Ryder. Byram at the plate. He's got a 3-1 count now. be outside, and that's going to walk Byram. So 2 men on now for the Belugas here to start the 9th inning. Nobody out.
Number 99,
Tyler Creetner, who came on for Peyton Brown as the designated hitter, struck out in his first appearance. Now he'll come to the plate with 2 teammates. First and second, there's a bunt attempt straight up. That's a pop fly caught by Vasgard. So that's a cheap out right there. The bunt attempt goes straight up in the air. So 1 out now, with 2 Belugas on first and second. The bunt attempt fails. If you're going to do that, man, get it on the ground. Don't pop that thing up. Oof, boy. Big mistake there. With 2 men on and nobody out. Now there's 1 out. Double play can end this now. Bazard gets his sign. Pitching from the stretch. Big strike there. Big swing. This is the top of the order now. Tyler Sandbolt, who's had a nice night at shortstop. Single and walk. Tapper to pitcher for a ground out and struck out once. So he's 1 of 3 on his night with a walk and 2 runs scored. But he's had a good defensive night at shortstop. Vasgard battling with him 0-2. And he'll get him to strike out right there. Swings right through it. Big strikeout for Vasgard. And now 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. That was strikeout number 10 on the night for the Cubs pitchers between Ammon, Strucky, and now Vasgard. This will bring up the 2-hitter in the lineup. This is Jackson Adams, who was a pinch hitter a couple innings ago. Walked in his first plate appearance. Now ahead in the count 1-0. Vasgard trying to close this out. Good pitch there. 1-1. Inside on that. Tough call there. 2-1. Some Cubs faithful wondering what was wrong with that pitch. Too high in that. 3-1 now. Jackson Adams at the plate. Ahead 3-1 in the count. 2 men on, 2 outs. It's a 1-run lead for the Brookings Cubs. Vasgard trying to close this out. Give Strucky the win. That'll be outside. That's going to be another walk, and that's going to load him up. Divine to third. Kreitner to second. Jackson Adams walks to load him up. And that'll bring Nick Hawkinstead to the plate with 2 outs. And the bases full of Belugas. Hawkinstead, the third baseman for the Belugas, will swing through strike 1. Hawkinstead on his night does have a single, 2 strikeouts, and a ground out to third. Vasgard trying to close this out. Almost hit him. Anderson loses sight on it for a second, but it'll be 1-1. Anderson did a good job at least of keeping that close. Just wasn't sure where it was. But it didn't go past him. That rolls to the backstop. We've had a tie game right here. Instead, 1-1 count now. Base is still juiced. Swings through strike 2. Good cut, just missed it. So the Belugas down to their final strike here, but do have bases full of Belugas. Vasgard gets his sign. Will deliver. Just outside, 2-2. Cubs faithful wondering where that pitch was as well. Screaming below me. Vasgard gets a sign. He will deliver and fire. Curveball just inside. 3-2 now. Runners are going to be moving here. Full count, 2 outs. Belugas down 1 run here. Top of the 9th. Vasgard trying to get a close. Trying to get a save. Fouled straight back. This is the romance of baseball here. Bases loaded. Outfield is in a bit. It's a 3-2 count. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Hero or not, here comes Vasgard. Fires. Fouled off once again, off to the right. So Vasgard toes the rubber once again here. Hockenstead digs in. Vasgard delivers. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Vasgard will save it. Great pitch right there. Wow. Looks at strike 3 with the bases loaded. And that will do it for the Brookings Cubs. 5-4 the final. Big win for the Cubs as they move to 3-0 in their season. Next up for those Cubs, let me bring this up for a quick second. That moves him to 3-0. Next up, next Wednesday, the Elkton Snappers come to town. This is the rescheduling from last night's game, as it was a little rainy, a little cold, a little not baseball-y. And the Elkton Snappers are coming to town next week. That is game number 4 for the Brookings Cubs. But that is going to do it for Thursday night from Bob Sheldon Field. A good win for the Cubs, 5-4, as they take care of the Brandon Belugas. Thank you to all of the sponsors here on Saul's Media. Thank you for watching and listening in on the initial Saul's Media Brookings Cubs broadcast. We'll do this again, man. Summertime here at Bob Sheldon Field. Why not? It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. That's going to do it for a Thursday. We'll see you next week with the Elkton Snappers in town. 3-0, the Brookings Cubs to start their season. And we'll do it all again next Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you next week.